Have you ever noticed that when people hear the word gentleman, they often picture something outdated? You know the type, overly formal, painfully proper, and speaking in some exaggerated accent. It's a goofy stereotype, basically something like this.
The gentleman's fashion. One must avoid making a fashion statement such as, "So get rid of those old rags." Yes, a tuxedo is always classy.
Must be half price.
I love a good old cartoon, but that's exactly my point. Being a gentleman became a stereotype, but that's not what it is, especially not in 2026. A modern gent is someone who carries himself with honor and treats others with respect. And while the definition of a gentleman may be different today than what it was 100 years ago, it's still important to be one because it says a lot about the kind of man that you are. So in this video, we're going through how to carry yourself like a gentleman in 2026. I have a total of 10 tips that come down to your character and how you interact with the people around you. Before we start, I'm Nick and welcome to my channel where I discuss gent style and lifestyle. I make videos on a wide variety of topics on how to dress well and how to live well. So if that interests you, then click subscribe. Also, follow me on Instagram. I'm posting there regularly and I have a ton of fun content planned. The first thing that determines how you carry yourself is your composure. A gentleman leads with his composure. We live in a chaotic world where it's easy to get caught up in the chaos and get distracted in life, which in turn can help prevent you from achieving your goals. As a gentleman, you need to remain calm and grounded no matter what's going on around you. Don't be constantly reacting, arguing, complaining, or letting every small inconvenience throw you off. Instead, maintain control over your emotions and be stoic. This can show up in different ways, like speaking slower and more clearly instead of rushing, pausing before responding instead of reacting emotionally, or handling problems without making them everyone else's business. One thing I did that helped was to completely stop watching the news because I just found that it was distracting me from all the things that I needed to get done. When you learn to be calm and grounded, you immediately come across as more mature and more capable. The second way to carry yourself like a gentleman is to dress with intention. This doesn't mean you need to be in a suit every day, but it does mean that you need to put effort into how you show up. We all know that first impressions matter, and unfortunately, this is something that a lot of men neglect. Putting effort into what you wear each day shows that you have respect for yourself and also respect for the people around you. That means wearing clothes that fit properly, keeping your shoes clean, paying attention to your grooming, and understanding the difference between casual and careless. You can wear jeans and a t-shirt and still look put together, and you can wear a sweater and trousers and still look elegant without being overdressed. A gentleman understands that his appearance helps show the world that he takes himself seriously. Next is you need to learn how to master the art of social awareness and learn to read the room. This is one of the clearest signs of social intelligence. Different social settings may call for slight adjustments in your behavior. For example, the way that you speak in a business meeting is going to be different from the way that you speak with your close friends. And the way that you joke with one group may not land in the same way with another. That awareness matters and it shows that you can adapt to any situation you may find yourself in. This also means being considerate of the people around you. If someone is quieter, try to include them in the conversation. If someone is uncomfortable, don't put them on the spot. If a joke comes at someone else's expense, think twice before saying it. And if you're in a setting that calls for respect, give it the respect that it deserves. Number 4 is to communicate with clarity. It's funny because we all live in this world that is so connected with our phones, social media, etc., but many people still don't know how to communicate properly and respectfully. In many ways, effective communication has actually declined with the rise of ghosting, vague replies, or passive aggression. As a gentleman, be honest. Communicate clearly, especially if you disagree with someone. This applies everywhere, from friends to dating. For example, if you're going to be late, say so. If you cannot commit to something, be upfront about it. If you owe someone an apology, give a genuine one. Or if you have an issue with something, address it calmly instead of letting resentment build. The way you communicate tells people whether you are dependable and emotionally mature. And a gentleman understands that his words carry weight, so he chooses them with care. The 5th way to carry yourself like a gentleman in 2026 is to handle technology with class. We live in the modern world, meaning that your character is not only revealed in person, but in also what you say and what you do online, from text messages to comment sections. As a gentleman, understand that just because something happens online does not mean it's disconnected from who you are. If you're rude, dishonest, or attention-seeking online, that still says something about you. So be careful with what you put out into the world. This also means knowing when to put the phone down and be present in the moment. When you're with someone, be with them. Don't be constantly checking your phone while they're speaking. Don't scroll through social media during dinner. And don't make every moment something that needs to be recorded or shared. Carrying yourself with class includes the way that you behave when you're behind the screen. Number 6 is to be respectful without being weak. And this is an important distinction because being a gentleman does not mean being passive or letting people walk all over you. A gentleman is polite, but he still has a backbone. He treats people with dignity, but he still has standards. He can be kind without being naive, and he can be patient without being a pushover. And he can disagree with someone without losing control over himself. This goes hand in hand with communicating clearly from earlier. Unfortunately, a lot of people go to the extremes of either side. They're either too passive and let things happen to them that bother them, or they blow up at the slightest inconvenience. As a gentleman, know how to treat people respectfully while choosing your battles wisely. The 7th way to carry yourself like a gentleman is to practice restraint. If composure is how to carry yourself when life tests you, restraint is how to carry yourself when your ego tempts you. This is especially important today because we live in a culture that encourages constant display and gratification. But a gentleman is more restrained. He does not brag about his money, his connections, his clothes, his car, his watch, or who he knows. And he doesn't need to turn every success into a performance. There's class in moving through life while keeping a low profile and not flaunting or flexing the various aspects of your life. Often when people do try to show off, it's a telling sign of insecurity or a lack of maturity. Next, we have take care of your body and your energy. Most of our world today is designed to make you unhealthy. We sit at desks all day, we stare at screens with strained eyes, we hardly get physical activity, we sleep poorly, and we eat bad food. The list goes on. And the thing is, people can sense when a man looks tired or unhealthy. You need to make a daily effort to counter all these things as much as possible. Do daily stretching and stand up straight when you walk. Play a sport or go to the gym for exercise. Eat good quality food and try to get as much sleep as possible. The more you invest in your body, the more productive you'll be at chasing your goals. And you'll just feel better, which will make you more happier overall. The 9th way to carry yourself like a gentleman is to be reliable. Humans are social beings, and although we live in this hyper-independent world, we inevitably need to depend on each other at times. When that happens, you need to show up for people, even if it may inconvenience you. A gentleman is someone that people can count on. He does what he says he's going to do. He shows up when he says he'll show up. He follows through on his commitments, even when it's inconvenient, because he knows that reliability is a form of respect. If you're someone who's constantly late or constantly making excuses, people will eventually stop trusting your word. And once your word loses value, it becomes very difficult to be someone who can be trusted. A gentleman understands that his reputation is built in small moments. And one of the simplest ways to separate yourself from most people is to become the kind of man who can actually be counted on. The 10th and final way to carry yourself like a gentleman is to learn how to move through refined spaces with ease. What I mean by this is that a gentleman should be able to walk into a nice restaurant, members club, gallery, charity event, formal dinner, business function, or a luxury hotel and not feel completely out of place. Part of that comes from etiquette, but a lot of it comes from being well-rounded. If you can understand a little bit about art, history, literature, music, food, travel, you'll have an easier time mixing in these circles. And better yet, if you have a personal opinion or an experience to go along with it, that'll make you an even more interesting man. You don't need to be an expert in everything, but you should be able to hold a thoughtful conversation beyond gossip, sports highlights, work complaints, and what you saw on social media. And that's my 10 tips on how to carry yourself like a gentleman in the modern world. Remember that being a gentleman isn't about the title. It's about the standards you hold yourself to. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe for more content on how to be a modern gentleman. Thanks for watching.